Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe during this whole pandemic thing. I'm in my 2002 Nissan Altima today, and I'm finally going to be working on it and recording it for you guys, showing off some stuff. Just doing a basic oil change, a tire rotation today, and then I'm going to be installing my adjustable front sway bar end links. Mouthful. I've had those for like more than a year, and I just have never done it. So finally gonna do that today. I got my jack fixed last week. It wasn't having any pressure. So as soon as any weight would go onto it, it would fall down. So I finally fixed that last week. It just needed to be refilled and needed to be plugged up and stuff. So got that fixed, and yeah, I'm gonna be working on the car today. So we've already had multiple adventures. First one was trying to find the sway bar end links, and that was a journey because like I said, I've had them for like a year and a half, and so they just kind of got buried underneath a bunch of stuff, and we were looking for a white box when they in fact were not in a white box, so that was great. Ended up finding them though, so we're good there. And then yesterday I bought an oil filter because I thought I had oil already and didn't have an oil filter. Turns out I don't have any oil, and I already had 2 oil filters, so now I have 3 and no oil. So now we're going to the store to get oil because I didn't have any. Am I doing this right? This is how you put on masks, right? I feel like that clip from SpongeBob where he puts the underwear over his face and then goes in to try and rob the bank.
All right, put the money in the bag. Put it in!
You're facing the wrong way, sir.
Alright, so I'd never actually attempted to jack my car up from the front, and that's where I would need a jack it from, is the subframe. As you can see, there's no jack there, and I have pushed it in as far as it can go with how low my car is. So yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to do this the usual way that I do this, which is very inconvenient, and I'm going to have to jack it up from each side first. Alright, so firstly, I'm recording using my camera's audio for the first time, so I have no idea how this is going to sound, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay, and this sounds alright. First thing we're going to do is loosen all the lug nuts, like just break them loose. I do it the old-fashioned way. I do not use an impact drive or anything like that. So yeah, gonna break the lug nuts loose first, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so now that I've got that done, I'm gonna jack up the car with my freshly fixed jack. Alright, so I'm working in a very tight space, as you can see, because I'm working in the street. But it should, I think I gave myself like exactly the amount of room that I need to do this. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jack up the car now. Alright, so as I'm sure you can already tell, I am not the strongest person. So there are going to be a lot of times where something that should be easy isn't. So just future reference for the channel. When you see me struggling with something, that's why. I went and grabbed this to use to loosen these because this one I've used the wrong size on it a few times, and so it's got like metal sticking out of it that I've cut myself with before. So I'm going to use this instead. First wheel off. So here's one advantage to having side skirts. I use my side skirts to hold my lug nuts and other stuff that I'm not using at the time, and it works great. So hopefully you guys can see this, but I actually have to put these together. I kind of could read the instructions, but they're a little bit weird, like a little bit hard to understand, but I'm also a dummy sometimes, so I could just be having a dummy moment. But yeah, so we got this piece down here, which goes through this piece, this piece and this piece screw into the actual bar. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'm assuming this is so that we can get the angle that we want for the end point, and then still have it, you know, be tight the way that we want it to be. So I'm going to leave that a little loose for now. And then we'll go ahead and do the top one, and I'll do the same thing. Let's see, so that one was, the bottom one was backwards. It was, instead of lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, it was righty-loosey, lefty-tighty? I don't know, whatever. Either way, this one's normal. Oh, and that's as tight as it wants to go. So, that's that. And then we're going to go ahead and do this piece, which goes in there like this. I probably am not showing this very great. But that goes in there like that. And then you slap this bad boy on here. And then for now, I'm going to do this. But obviously, this, I believe, will go through the actual, like, sway bar. And that's how that'll go. So yeah, this is, hopefully you guys can see this. This is the completed front sway bar, adjustable front sway bar end link. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try and install it now. So as you can see, I don't currently have any sway bar end links at all, because the stock ones don't fit, so I had to take them out. Alright, so I probably won't be able to record this and do it very well, but I'm gonna try my best. Alright, so right now I'm just kind of doing some test fitting to see the length that this should be, and then I'm gonna match it up to the other one, make sure that they're both the same size, well, length, and then I'll go ahead and install them. So yeah, just kind of giving that a check here. Sneak that behind there, and then that one would go right about there. Let's see, does that work? Probably should pull this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go, just like that, would work perfect. So we're going to go ahead and tighten these bolts down without messing anything up here, hopefully. And then I'll match the other one to be the same length as this one, and then we will install it. This is the one for the other side, actually, but this is just like me checking to make sure that they're the same length. And they are, so we're good. Alright, so to install these, we take the top bolt off here with the washer. And then the bottom part, we take off the bolt. When I keep saying bolt, I mean the nut, probably. Anyways, however, we leave the bushing on there. You leave the bushing. And then we're going to go ahead and slap that in there. Oh, actually, I believe I made a mistake. Yep. Alright, we're going to have to redo this. I realize now that it needs to be on this side so that this doesn't hit the back of the strut tower. And I'm going to leave my mistake in there because I have nothing to hide from you guys, and because you guys can learn from my mistakes and then not make the same mistake. So we're going to have to readjust the height of this, I believe. Let's see, because this is going to need to go here. I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts back on real quick. Alright, so thankfully I actually don't have to readjust the size of this. It'll still fit. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the install now, now that we know we're good to go. So we're going to push this through here, and I'm just going to very loosely put on the nut and the washer. Make sure not to forget the washer. And then we'll go ahead and bring it through here if we can, which we can, there we go. And then I will very loosely put the bolt down there as well, just to hold it in place. And it looks, oh, there we go, okay. I was going to say, it looks like this is putting a lot of stress on the upper ball joint, or whatever that's called, because I have no idea. That's one thing you'll learn about watching my YouTube videos. I'm going to get the names of everything wrong. I'm literally learning this stuff as I go. So I don't know that much when it gets down to it. I'm sure my comments are just gonna be filled with people being like, dude, you're so dumb. That's not what that's called. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, well now I know. So that's another reason I'm doing this whole YouTube thing, is so that I can learn. All right, so I'm gonna use this crescent wrench to hold this bolt in place. I'm gonna reach around the back here if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay. And yeah, this is in a really bad spot, but it works. So we're just gonna go ahead and tighten that down as far as we can. I don't know if there's torque specs for this, but I'm just gonna get it as tight as I can and call it good. I am hitting my oil filter while I'm doing this. However, I'm changing my oil later, which includes the oil filter, so I'm not too worried about that. But if you're not planning on changing your oil the same day you're doing this, definitely, you know, watch out for that. I don't know if I really should tighten this down all the way as far as it'll go, because I mean those washers are meant to, you know, take some of the impact. So I'm just gonna kind of tighten it like a bit, and then I'll probably stop. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna start tightening this top one. Oh wow, that top one was already almost tight actually. Okay. I'm assuming that should have a little bit of play like that. I'm not actually 100% sure. But, I mean, hey, either way, it's better than not having any at all. So, I'm just gonna leave it like that, because if I were to tighten this all the way, it would be, like, over here. So this is as good as it's gonna get. And, the bottom one feels pretty good. So I don't think that bolt really needs to be tightened anymore. Maybe I'll give it, like, one more quick turn or something. Because I don't want to snap the bolt or anything, or, you know, mess up the washers at all. So I'm just gonna, I mean, even though it doesn't feel, the bolt doesn't feel tight, I'm just gonna give it, you know, a few more turns and then call it good. So that's that one done. And now we're just gonna rotate the tires. So just in case the camera didn't get, like, very good angles of it, here's what the adjustable sway bar end link looks like. Here it is installed. I'm going to go ahead and put on gloves now. You probably noticed I was working with my bare hands. I went inside and washed my hands real quick so that I can put on the gloves. Just because with working the cameras and stuff, I don't want to get grease all over my phone and all over my, like, $500 camera. Also with putting the... So unfortunately I didn't realize that I had my 8GB memory card in my camera instead of my 32GB memory card. So my camera is already out of space. So the rest of this is gonna have to be recorded on my phone, but that's okay. I'll make it work somehow. Here's what I'm using to prop up my phone, because I don't have anything else to prop up my phone, so I'm using a trowel. So I don't know where it cut out, but I'm taking off the lug nuts, and now that I'm wearing the gloves, I don't have to worry about using that socket on the end of the thing. I can just use this because these gloves will protect me from the little sharp metal parts. Alright, so that's interesting. I found something that's not where it's supposed to be. I guess it's good that I'm working on my car, and I don't know how I didn't notice this. This goes onto the back of the brake caliper, and the bolt is gone. So my brakes, the top of my brakes are just kind of hanging freely. So I'm gonna have to go get a new bolt. I talked to Allie's dad, because he's a mechanic. Well, he used to be a mechanic, and now he still works at a dealership. And he said that it's been like this for a while. It's probably been like this for a while. So he said I should be fine to just leave it for now, and just whenever I can get the bolt, I can fix it. Because, you know, with, like, all this stuff going on, there's, you know, most of the auto parts stores are closed. And we live, like, right down the street from a wrecking yard. So we can probably just go down there, and I mean the chances of them having a 2002 Altima is probably pretty high, and then I can just grab one of the bolts off of it real quick and then you know, install it, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, he said I should be fine, so I'm just gonna keep going, and if I suddenly have brake problems while I'm driving, we know what it is. So, yeah. Update. So I put the front wheel back on, and forgot that I have to do an oil change. So I'm gonna have to take that wheel back off. I am going to tighten up the rear wheel, and do the star pattern thing, because I realized that you guys probably saw me hand tightening it right before this, and I just hand tighten in a circle, but don't worry, I know to do the star pattern when I'm actually like tightening it. So anyways, I'm gonna do that. Take the front wheel off, do the oil change, do the oil filter and all that. Oh, I should probably clarify, the reason I have to take the wheel off to do the oil change is because I'm changing the oil filter, and to get to the oil filter on the Altima, the easiest way is to take off the wheel. So yeah. Alright, so once again, doing it the old-fashioned way. I got my good old torque wrench here. I don't want to use the impact. I usually do about 83 pounds. So I took the wheel off, and there's the oil drain filter, or the oil filter like I was talking about. As you can see, obviously that would have been very hard to get to without, taking that off. However, because of how low the car is, I've jacked it way up, and I still am having trouble getting to the oil drain plug because, it's so far under there. This is why I hate changing the oil on my car. I usually, take it somewhere that I can drive it up onto, like, some ramps or something so that I can get underneath it and jack it from the front or something, but like I had to jack it from the side when I'm doing it myself. So yeah, this sucks. I did it. Only got a little bit of oil on my hands, not too bad. All things considered. I am dripping oil onto the ground, which is not good, but I forgot to get paper towels, so that's my own fault. But yeah, it's draining, so now I'll do the oil filter after that's done. Allie to the rescue. Doubt that you'll be able to see this because I'm going to either be blocking it or it's going to be too dark. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the oil filter now, because it's going to drain into just about the same spot as the oil itself is. Unfortunately, with the way that my car is, the oil filter, the oil that drains from the oil filter, is just going to go all over the frame and all kinds of other stuff. I'm going to actually move this way quite a bit more. Yeah, it's just going to get it all over the bottom of the block and all over the frame and stuff. So I'm going to try and, oh boy. Oh yeah, this is a mess. Alright, well, oh well. It is what it is. We're going to go ahead and check this. I don't see any metal shavings or anything. That's great. I'm going to go grab some more paper towels. And I'm going to start wiping down the frame and all that stuff that just got oil all over it. So doing with this with paper towels probably isn't the best way. But unfortunately, it's all I got. So that's how I'm going to have to do it. But if you have, like, shop towels and stuff, that is an option. Definitely would do that if you can. But yeah, unfortunately this paper towel is my only option, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now that this has come down to a drip, we are going to dry off the bottom of that there, wherever that is. We got some dripping from here. Oh yeah, look at that, nice and grimy. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the drain bolt back in, if I can figure out where it goes. I'm going entirely based off of feel here because I can't actually see underneath, but I'm gonna assume it's right about there because that feels pretty oily. getting this bolt back in is the hardest part so far. Okay, I'm gonna try it with my left hand instead. See if maybe that'll go a little better, because then I can get on the ground. I'm probably totally blocking your guys' view, but sacrifices need to be made. Aha! I did it! See, told you, sacrifices. Alright, so this is not fun. However, this definitely could be going much worse. I will send a link to my friend Caden. Did an oil change recently, and on his I think his parents' Scion TC. I don't know. You'll be able to watch the video. I'm gonna link the video below. And his oil change was like nightmare situation kind of thing. So thankfully, I actually am able to get mine done. But it definitely was not easy. All right, so I got this K&N filter with the nut at the bottom, so it's easier to take off. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the oil and put it on the O-ring, and then I will put this on. This is the part when not being very strong sucks, because they say, you know, hand tighten your oil filters, and I don't know if my hand tight is tight enough, or if I'm tightening it too much, because I think I'm weaker than I actually am. So that sucks. But either way, I've tightened it. I mean, you know, tight to my hand. So hopefully that's enough, and not too much. I put some oil on the O-ring, like I said. And yeah, now we're gonna fill it with oil, and then I'm gonna start the car and make sure it's not leaking. So I was gonna try and set a good example by you know, reading the maintenance book to see how much fluid I should use rather than Googling it. And the maintenance book doesn't tell me. It literally says, here's how you do your change your oil or whatever. I don't know if this is even the right page. I think it's the next page that actually shows it. But anyways, one of these pages shows like, oh yeah, this is how you change your oil, undo the bolt, you know, let it drain, put the bolt back in, and then the oil filter back on, whatever. But it doesn't say how much you refill it with. It just says refill it at the recommended amount, but it doesn't say what the recommended amount is. What the heck, dude? Apparently it does say it in the manual somewhere, but I couldn't find it. Either way, I googled it, and somebody said it says 4.5 quarts if you do a filter change, which I obviously did. So the oil comes in a little bit more than 4.5 quarts, but I had an old one laying around, so what I did is I dumped out enough so that it's like at 4.5 quarts, so that I can just dump this entire thing in here and it's not a problem. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we got the car running. It's been running for like a minute now maybe, and I don't see any leaks. Those spots are from when I changed the oil, because I mean, you saw it dripped all over the frame and all kinds of stuff like that. So I made sure to note where the spots were that were pre-existing, and yeah, there's nothing leaking, so we're good to go. Now that I got that done, I'm gonna put the wheel back on, and then I'm gonna turn the car around, and then I'm gonna put the sway bar end link on the other side and rotate the tires on the other side. So I got the wheels back on and the car lowered back down, so now I'm gonna turn around so that I can do the other side. Alright, so I'm editing right now, and this is actually it as far as the, like, working on the car goes. It was, like, really hot at this point. It was, like, 85 degrees this day, and we hadn't really had that many hot days this year, so my body really wasn't used to, like, the heat. And so I was just, like, I was sweaty, I was tired, I just wanted to be done, so I kind of stopped recording, and then along with that my phone was about to die, which I'll mention in this next clip. But yeah, I know I skipped like a bunch of stuff, so just real quick I wanted to explain that like there were a few wasps that were flying around and like kept getting in the way and stuff, and it just made it super difficult to work on my car, because every time I would start working on it, like a wasp would fly into my face, and so that was super annoying. And then I took the wheels off and realized that the sway bar end link on the other side, like I don't know how to explain it, and I'm kind of frustrated with myself that I didn't show it, but basically it didn't like fit the way it did on the other side, and so I kind of just had to I had to improvise basically, you know. And so I learned a lot from this video, I will say that, and I like looking back and editing this video, I learned, you know, a lot about things that I kind of skipped over and stuff that I need to work on for the next video when I'm working on my car. But I hope you guys still enjoyed anyway, and I'll go to the next clip now. I did the other side. Had some issues. Got them fixed in a really not great way, but whatever. I fixed it. I'm tired. My phone's about to die. So I'm going to end it here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Say goodbye.